Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. Today, I'm going to show you guys a Shinobu's Valve Skip Grenade build that absolutely destroys everything. I'm talking jolting everything, full charging everything, ionic traces everywhere. I mean, look at these champions in the background. They're getting absolutely destroyed, probably crying for mercy. All thanks to this build and the rework that Shinobu's Valve got but with the Monument of Triumph update, which makes it go absolutely insane. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe. But without further ado, let's head into the subclass breakdown, shall we? Now, for the build, first of all, we're going to cover the subclass. For the subclass, we're going to want the super as Gathering Storm, or any super of your choice, but I like to use Gathering Storm as it's probably the best PvE Hunter Arc super. For our dodge, we're going to want Gambler's Dodge to regenerate our melee when we dodge. And for jump, triple jump, obviously, for PvE. For our melee, we're going to want Combination Blow to give back class ability and also health when we use this. And for our grenade, we're always going to use Skip Grenade. That's going to be the main thing about the build. And then now for our aspects. We're first going to want Tempest Strike to get that nice sliding ability, jolting targets as it hits, and also so that when we defeat a jolted target, it grants us a stack of Bolt Charge, which Bolt Charge is also going to be really important in this build. And second of all, we're going to want Flow State, so that defeating a jolted target makes us amplified, and while we're amplified, our dodge recharges more quickly. For our fragments, we're going to want Spark of Resistance to be more resilient to incoming damage, which, just a nice little damage reduction. For our second fragment, we're going to want Spark of Ions, so that defeating a jolted target or defeating a target with Bolt Charge creates an ionic trace, which we'll be doing that a lot thanks to our melee. And our third fragment, our Spark of Shock, which makes our arc grenades jolt targets. So now our arc grenade also gives us ionic traces. And finally, those ionic traces, thanks to Spark of Discharge, will give us a grant of Bolt Charge. As you can see, we're going to be trying to get a lot of Bolt Charge in this build. Now, in terms of the mods, let's head straight to that. Now, for the mods, let's start off with the head. For the headpiece, you're going to want 2 Ashes to Assets and a Harmonic Siphon, as it's very much recommended to use an arc weapon for this build. For the arms, you're going to want 2 Grenade Kickstarts, because just in case when you get kills with your Skip Grenade and it doesn't give you back your grenade from Shinobu's Valve perk, the Grenade Kickstart should be able to make sure you almost always get your grenades back after every use. And also a Firepower mod, to get Orbs of Power while you're getting these kills. For chest, it's going to be your obvious resist mods. For the legs, we're going to want Recuperation, Stacks on Stacks to give you additional armor charge when you pick up Orbs of Power, and also Elemental Charge, as since we're getting a lot of ionic traces with this build, this will give you an escalating chance to give you an armor charge each time you pick up an ionic trace. Finally, for your class item, you're going to want to have Distribution to decrease your all your ability cooldowns when you use your class ability on your targets, Powerful Attraction to make it easier to pick up Orbs of Power when you use your class ability, and Time Dilation to be sure to make your armor charge last longer. Now, for the artifact, we're going to be using the NPA Repulsion Regulator, as you can see, it works best with arc and also works best with auto rifles. And since for the auto rifle, I'm using the Sniper Hunt MK47, an amazing auto rifle for both PvP and PvE. That's why I decided to use this artifact. But first of all, for the first artifact mod, we want Amped Up to stay amplified longer while you have an arc or prismatic subclass equipped. This will make us, have our amplified longer, so just in case we don't have to always refresh it whenever we need to. For a second, we're going to want Thunderous Retort, grant bonus arc damage if cast while critically wounded or while amplified, and we're basically almost always going to be amplified, so this is great. We're also going to want Counter Charge, gain a stack of armor charge when you start a champion, just another way to get armor charge, and if you don't if you're not going to be going into an activity that has champions, you can always switch it to anything else. Though, the reason why I chose this is every other one has a Seaver Glaives, Strand, Avoid. So that's why I decided to choose this one, because this is a subclass neutral. For our fourth artifact mod, we're going to want targeting autoloader, so that while you have an artifact for equipped, defeating combat reloads it and temporarily increases its damage. And also, for our fifth, we're going to want Sustain Fire, continuously damaging combats or healing allies with an artifact against damage resistance. And for our final two artifact mods, which these are our main ones, which is going to be Shock and Awe, Arc Final Blows while you are amplified, which is going to be all the time, summon a Burst Lightning that damages and duels targets, another way to duel enemies. And finally, Lightning Strikes twice. After throwing an Arc Grenade, gain increased grenade recharge for a short time. Arc Final Blows extend the duration of this effect. And since we're almost always going to be doing Arc Final Blows, this makes us so our Arc Grenade is always going to have an increased grenade recharge all the time, as long as we're getting these Arc Final Blows. Now, finally, for our armor stats. As you can see, this is the stat breakdown I have. We're gonna obviously focus as much as we can on grenade. We can also have class and super, and for the rest of them it doesn't really matter. And of course, get your health stat as low as possible, because you know it's not really a stat that you really want to focus on. Now that is going to be everything you're gonna need for the Shinobu's Vow Skip Grenade build. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like. If you enjoy my content, be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching again, and bye.